Well, this isn't a typical type of video that I'd put on this channel, and it's my first direct message to subscribers. First off, thank you everyone who subscribed and those who've commented constructively on the films. Even those who've been less than constructive have sometimes been useful. It's all good, I suppose. It's been fantastic to have the ideas and perspectives of so many people, and I've learned a lot from the feedback, a great deal. One thing I've learned, and then some, is the difference between knowing what I'm talking about and explaining to others what I'm talking about. I know I've made lots of mistakes in presentation, which I aim to correct in future work. Things like rhetorical discipline and insufficiently defined terms have sometimes been an issue, and it's a shame when some flaw in presentation takes away from the content, so I want to improve on that. The thing about it is the films were never meant to be public in this way. It was originally a private project for me, basically, for my own reasons, and so this is where the problem arises. I always know exactly what I mean, but I haven't always taken sufficient care in presenting the case to others. But anyway, after discussions with Angry Harry, he was the one that set me straight and recommended that the films be put out there because it would have value to other men. So not only was he part of the inspiration for the work and the main star of the films, he's also the main reason that this channel exists. He's that good. As well as Angry Harry, there are also a few other people who helped a great deal in publicising this channel and the documentary, particularly when I was new to YouTube back in early 2010. And two people who stand out in particular are Paul Elam and Bernard Chapin. Now in England, of course, we pronounce that Bernard Chapin, but I doubt he'd go for that somehow, and I'm not out to offend him, so we'll go with Bernard. He has a channel under the name Pinegrove33 called Chapin's Inferno, and I love it. And Bernard loves what he does as well, and it shows in his consistent great work on all kinds of subjects, most of which are generally tied to aspects of the men's movement. Paul Elam's channel is called The Happy Misogynist, with many landmark videos on there which articulate the ethos of the men's rights movement in a completely unparalleled way. He has a great way with words and doesn't pull his punches. Paul also founded and runs the top men's rights movement site on the net called A Voice for Men, and he started a radio show along with some other guys which is also called A Voice for Men, and that's on Blog Talk Radio. If you're not subscribed to those two channels, well, you should be, and my advice, so you don't forget, is to pause this now, go and get subscribed to those great MRAs, and then come back. Links are provided. Now, a few other people have also helped in different ways, and this is to recognise and thank them for their efforts as well. In particular, those who have taken it upon themselves to translate the films into Spanish, and those who have mirrored the films as well. I think in one case someone's mirrored all of them. And it's a lot of work to do that, and it shows how great many of the men in the men's movement are when they do this kind of thing off their own backs. Hats off to you. There's one more film from the original project on the subject of health to be uploaded, and that will be done in the next few days or next week or so. It's been a long road to get them ready for YouTube. The sheer amount of time to re-edit from the original has meant it's been almost 2 years to get it all done. I mean, the whole project itself has taken insane amounts of time, a phenomenal amount of time. And to be fair, that's primarily down to the way I do things, the way I go about things, and what I was trying to achieve standards-wise has meant that it needed a lot of input and a lot of effort and time. So anyway, I'm planning a new set of films now, and the basis of that is of course a new set of interviews. And some of those interviews will be the same people as before, and some new people as well. So Erin Pizzey and Angry Harry will be back, and I've also booked Steve Moxon, who wrote a book called The Woman Racket, which I highly recommend. It's a great book, and I can't wait for that interview. I'm after a few more people as well, and we'll see if they respond to the requests. I mean, it's not an easy business getting people to give up their time in this way, so we'll see how that goes. Right, in the meantime, I'll continue with some short bite-sized clips on certain topics, and maybe a couple of new films, also of short duration. For example, one of the ones I'm interested in is to do with the Clothesline Project at Mississippi State University, and this was brought to light by a YouTuber called Help a Dog from Hell, and he's done some great work on his channel exposing misandry at his university. Yeah, check it out and subscribe too if you have a heart. And the reason I say that in particular is that he's a man standing up for himself and fellow men in a very hostile environment, as all universities have become. So he's a brave man, he's doing a very difficult job, and he deserves support. the reason I'm so interested in that particular project is because of what it highlights about not only the mentality of feminists, but also the mentality of women in general, and why feminism has such traction in our institutions, why it has so much support. The Clothesline Project is very illustrative of the hateful foundation of feminism, and if time allows, I'll be doing something on that, but there's so much to do in other areas as well, so we'll just have to see how it fits in. So there's a lot more to come in due course. I'll be cracking on with things, and I hope you're patient. I'll try and keep some of the uploads coming while I'm working on longer term projects. Okay, thanks again for your support.